Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Illuminati by Eric C. Dunn. Supportive Oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen. There's Gretchen's last name. That way, if you'd like to find all these creators or any of them, that's the information you need to find them. I want to do the bottom of the deck. I don't know why. Okay. So these are all the cards we're going to do. I don't know why we're doing them this way, but let's... For some reason we're starting them all face down. What's up with that? Okay. So, let's see what we got here. I don't know why we did them. We flipped them all face down for some reason to start with. So I feel like this is a situation that's going to kind of show itself as it goes forward. It may be one of those weird situations where you're not really sure where you stand until the next piece unfolds. There's a weird energy here. It does feel like there's a lot of mystery with it for some reason. I wouldn't say there's a lot of cards that support that, but I'm feeling like there's a lot of mystery here. Because when you go into the situation, you do have faith. Is it faith that it's going to work out? Or just like, when I'm getting the faith card, it's kind of like something needs you to be a part of it. And you know you have to be a part of something. It's one of those things where you feel you have to be a part of it. Nobody's telling you you have to. It's not like that. But you're feeling it. You're just like, I need to be a part of this. It's one of those situations too that it's kind of like it's not the easiest situation, but you're drawn to it. You're drawn to it. You're just kind of like, no, I think I got to be a part of this. So you do what you have to do. That's how you get pulled into this, whatever it is. You literally don't have to, but you feel like you need to. And you go into it full board. You're just kind of like, I got to do this. And you're just kind of like, well, I'm here. I know I need to be here. I don't know why I need to be here, but I'm feeling it. Maybe you do know why you need to be there, but it's literally one of those feelings kind of like, if I don't do this, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. If I don't do this, I feel like I'm out of sorts with myself. I'm unhappy about it. Your thoughts keep going to this situation. You can't seem to stop thinking about it. It just keeps playing on your head over and over and over and over and over again. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to be a part of this. So, boom. There you go. You go into it. You do what you got to do. You're like, no, I need to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. When you do this, you really do feel like you're doing the right thing. And I don't think that's wrong. So why do we keep saying that? You feel like that's really motivating you. It's really strong. Judgment. You got judgment in your favor. Seven of Pentacles. Judgment is definitely in your favor. You start right off, you like jump right in. It's kind of like you're right into this situation. You're ready to go. This is not starting slow. This is starting off pretty quickly. But you're very like, I need to do this, and I'm ready to go, and I need to get into this. Sooner I get into it, the better this goes. And you're moving forward, and you're just kind of like, you get right in there, you find your niche, you find your pace, and you stick with it. So you're not getting into this slowly. You're getting into this pretty quickly is what I'm getting. You got the vanity here too. Okay, the warning with this card is be careful not to think you more know than you. Be careful to not believe you know more than you actually do. And I'm tripping over that, I'm noticing. You do know a lot. You do have a lot of information. That's the catch. You do know a lot about what's going on here. You are very good with that. There are nuances here. There are pieces here you could really benefit from, and others people could really benefit from too. Be open to information. Be open to information, because the thing is, you do know a lot. That's the thing. If you're open to new information, though, things get better for you and the people around you. So it can be hard, because I feel like some of the people bringing you this new information you're not impressed with. To you, I feel like they'd be a little bit goofy, but they do have good information. If you can listen to them and find out what they're doing and how they're doing it, you may be able to pull something or glean something from that to improve the situation in a very steady, stable way. So they're saying don't let your knowledge get the better of you, because you do know a lot. You do, but there's more to learn here. Things are going in your way. So things are going to your advantage, your judgment in your favor. Not to say anything's going bad, because I feel like some of that information is going to be necessary to really get past this. There's some problems here, and I feel like there's somebody else here who wants to do things their way. It's very interesting because Earth is usually quite good, right? Earth, you think Earth would work well with Earth. Only when Earth is going against itself does it become a problem. Like if you got two very strong wagons coming towards each other and they're just not giving in, like bam. You know what I mean? If Earth is working against itself, that's a bad problem. That could be that's earthquakes. Isn't that an earthquake? That's Earth working against itself. That's an earthquake, right? That's devastation. That can be very devastating. Be careful. There's something you're going to deal with. If you can absorb information, if you can find out these other things, these other nuances from people that you don't feel like have that best grasp on the situation, and they don't have as much of a grasp on the situation as you do, granted, because that's what I'm feeling what it is. They don't have as much of an insight or knowledge about it that you do, but they know things. They've learned things along the way that you have not come across, that they can actually help you and help you. It may be the littlest thing, but it might benefit you in the biggest way. You got to go into those things. If you want to make this easier, if you give that a chance, you might learn stuff that you didn't know. And it may seem like the littlest thing at the time, but it could have the biggest advantage. So keep that in mind. Because this Earth that's working against you, which is so ironic to me, you're not going to be able to get past it. You got to find a way to work with it. You got to find a way to work with it to make it go in your, to more to your advantage. I feel like that'll go a lot better. Don't trust it when that seems like that information or that energy goes dormant. That Queen of Pentacles may be silent for a while, but it's like, don't be a fool with that. Don't be the fool and think that it's gone. It's going to take some time. It might pull back. It might recoil for a while and like think over what it wants to do, whatever this energy is, no matter who, what, whatever it is. But it's going to come back. So realize this Earth energy that you're coming up against that seems to be a problem might go dormant for a moment, but it's just dormant for a moment. It will come back. You need to prepare for it. And I'm getting, again, the information. If you could pull out that information from these areas that you're not expecting from, this could go a lot better. This other information could also probably give you a heads up that, like, yeah, that's what the Queen of Pentacles does. She pulls back every now and then. She goes dormant for a very short time, but then she comes back with a mean right, so you better be ready for it. They might warn you about that, so they might have that information for you too. The rules are going to have to be adhered to. The thing is, Capricorn understands rules from what I understand. Capricorn understands the need for rules. It's just whether they agree with the rules or not. If they agree with the rule, they will uphold the rule. If they don't agree with the rule, they'll go against the rule, or they'll fight against the rule, from what I understand. So what I'm getting here with the Hierophant and the Gratitude is like, part of what's good with this situation is you're good with rules and this other person is good with rules. It's just both sides have to agree that the rules are correct and things will go a lot better. And I feel like that's a big thing about working through this situation, agreeing that the rules are correct. Whew. You would think, like, you have a very strict vision about how this should be. And you're kind of like, I don't see the need to play around or play games with this. Let's get to the point. Let's deal with the situation. Let's talk about what's not working here. And let's make it work right. Let's make it work to the best of its ability. Let's not just play around and just appease people. You're not in the appeasing mode. At this point, you're not in the appeasing mode. Like, I don't want to appease people because I don't think that's right in this situation. It's just going to cause more problems later. So let's deal with it and let's figure it out. You're coming forward with a very strong energy. Hopefully you got that little nuance of energy. Like, you see the Hierophant there holding the, not the Hierophant, the Emperor holding this little vial here or whatever it is. I feel like that's your little advantage. Hopefully you got that advantage on the way here. As long as you did, I feel like you can get through this fairly easily, because this person is not going to back off easily. Whoever you're dealing with, whatever you're dealing with, it's not going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy win. It's going to linger for a while. It's going to take a while. This is something you're going to have to put a lot of effort in. It's not going to be constant effort, or is it? It's not going to be constant effort. It's going to pop up here and there. You're not going to know if things are going well or if things are not going well. You have to keep trying to figure out what's going on with this person over here. This is a situation, and you know it's going to be difficult being a part of it, but I feel like this is somebody who keeps coming back. They come back pretty strong. The victim energy next to the Queen of Wands makes me nervous, because the Queen of Wands is not a victim, but she can be a victimizer, and I almost feel like that's what you got to watch out for with this. Be careful of where this person goes, because they might have the ends justify the means mentality, kind of like, well, if I have to be a little bit strong arm on this, if I have to be a bit overbearing to make this work out, to move this forward, this person might do that. I don't get victim, I get victimizer, because this is not a victim. This person is not a victim. They might victimize somebody. They could have a history where that's how they learned. They might have been victimized in the past. They might have been the victim in the past and learned these things from other people. But at this point, I feel like if they have to do some unscrupulous things to move forward, they just might do that, so be careful. To them, it might be fair play also. They might not feel that it's a negative thing. They might just be like, that's fair play, this is how you play the game. It's not really how it feels to me, just so you're aware that that might be how they see it. You're not going to get budged with that. They're not going to get budged with that. The Hanged Man here is telling me this isn't moving forward, but it could be a very uncomfortable moment. So be aware of that. Again, hopefully you're getting these nuances back here. When you have the chance, somebody might give you the heads up so you can prepare for this before it happens. Makes it a lot easier for you in the whole situation. Okay. What moves this situation forward? At some point, you have to get along with this other energy. It does seem to match yours once there's an agreement. There has to be like a meeting of the minds. There has to be, each side has to give in a little bit. Each side has to be willing to hear the other side. It literally, I feel like this person is going to have to, I feel like they're going to be the victimizer at some point. I feel like that ironically is going to move it into your favor, because once they do these things, I feel like there might be some regret on those things, which might give them the ability to pull back and be like, well, I kind of was too much on that, so I kind of should secede a little bit and at least hear the other side, because they have guilt about what they pushed towards you. That's what I'm seeing here. Literally, the guilt card is here with the Queen of Swords. Like, this person might be willing to listen to you because they realized that they pushed it too far and they really went overboard on something. That's the payoff I'm getting from it. Like, they pushed it too far, they realize it, because of that, they're willing to listen a little bit. I feel like at this point you need to realize they're not going to give in completely. So, and I feel like you know that. You're realistic about it. You're like, oh no, they're not going to give in completely, but at least they're listening. It's going to be hard for you because you're going to be a bit upset about it. You're going to be unhappy. Like, whatever they did where they pushed it over the line, it does bother you. It very much does bother you. You're going to have to, it's going to be hard to hold it back that you're bothered by that, but I feel like if you're able to kind of pull it back for this situation, at least at this time, this can work out. You can make this situation move forward again. It's kind of holding back that grief for a little while, because I feel like the grief, literally the word grief is there because it's kind of like you have grief out of not venting how you feel. The grief is because you can't just blast this person and tell them, you know, you're a jerk and you were mean to me and that was uncalled for or whatever. You can't do that. So the grief is because you have to make this work out. You have to hold back how you really feel. But I do feel like this has the chance to really go forward. It's just dealing with this other energy and getting through this moment of grief to get the success. I do feel like there's a successful thing there, though. It's just kind of like, at what cost? I don't know. For this person, this is how it's going to take to get this to work out. All right. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.